Emerson, one of the better polls, not always the best, but one of the better polls, has they released a new poll. Another one. And yeah, I know the headline's stupid. Do we believe it? No, not really. Don't believe it. All we know, but listen, y'all. Just before I go into the deep dive of this, no, Biden is not leading shit. He's not leading the damn thing. Look, I need y'all to see my face. Hold up, real quick. I need y'all to see my face. He ain't leading shit. He's not leading a damn thing. Nothing. Not a damn team. There's nothing that Biden is leading except for in statements that completely undermine his entire campaign and completely contrived, obtuse, and ridiculous logic, like his logic for why he doesn't support Medicare for all. And if anybody wants to clarify that, I don't even understand what the hell he was saying. I wanted to do a rant. I'm not even joking. I saw the statement. I heard the statement, and I was like, I want to do a video on this, but I don't even know what I would say because I don't even understand what he was saying. Biden ain't leading a damn thing. All right? He's not. Let's continue. So let's go ahead and take a look at this Emerson poll. So the new Emerson poll finds former Vice President Joe Biden with a bump from his official entrance into the race, taking back the lead over Bernie Sanders, which once again, not true, but we'll continue. The poll finds Biden with 33% and Sanders with 25%. The April Emerson poll had Sanders ahead of Biden 29% to 24%. That's weird because I feel like they did not have him at that. I feel like they had it reversed, right? Didn't they say that Biden was ahead of him in April? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, it's making this a 13-point swing in favor of the vice president. Oh, you know what? The April Emerson poll was put out before Biden had announced, and they had decided, before they decided to lie to the American public that his announcement with all of the 10 old people, no offense to old people, I got a lot of love for y'all, but there was only 10 old people there, and no offense, but millennials are the largest voting bloc in the country now. So having 10 old people at your rally where they couldn't even they wouldn't even pan the camera. They wouldn't even pan the camera so you could see the audience. Because if you pan the camera so they can see the audience, you're going to pan and you're going to pan and you're going to get to the corner right thing. I'm like, oh shit, ain't nobody in the building. Pan back, pan back. That's what's going to happen. So they said that it's a 13-point swing for Vice President Joe Biden. That's what they said. Senator Kamala Harris, Senator Warren are tied for third place, each getting 10%. And Mayor Pete Buttigieg rounds out at the top 5 at 8%. I've noticed that his campaign is fizzling out as well. Seriously, I don't know who the hell they're asking. Now, no other candidate in the field clears 3%. Of course, we can confidently say that no other candidate in the field clears 3%, okay? Because if you've asked 429 people, how could this poll possibly be inaccurate? 4.7 margin of error, people, is a problem. That's too high. Anything, we talk about this here a lot. Anything above 4%, you really want to have it below 4%, but anything above 4% is way too damn high. Fuentes 11, not leading even if his house, even his house, he ain't got shit. Man, you just dropped that super chat just to dunk on that man. All right. Let me continue. So there is some positive. I don't want to go through all of the super details of this Emerson poll because we already know. We already know what the outcome is going to be. They're going to oversample older people. They're going to probably undersample independents. I literally don't even have to look at the details to know that they're probably bullshitting. But it's cool, right? It's cool. We're going to get into the good news. We're going to dive into the good news stuff, and then we'll go from there. A majority of Democratic primary voters, 56%, indicate that there is a chance they could change their mind and vote for another candidate, whereas 44% say they will definitely vote for the candidate they're currently supporting. Spencer Kimball, director of Emerson polling, notes that Biden and Sanders have more loyal supporters at 52 and 54% of their voters say that they will definitely vote for the top two candidates, while 33% of Harris and 27% of Buttigieg and 20% of Warren's voters plan to definitely stick with their preferred candidate. A strength for Sanders throughout this early stage of the nominating process has been the support of younger voters. And Sanders currently leads Biden among 18 to 29-year-olds. You don't say, people. Are you telling me that young people don't like Biden? I'm going to tell y'all a secret, bro. Most people below the age of 25, even maybe 21, I would say maybe 21. Most people below the age of 21 don't even know who the hell Joe Biden is. I'm not even joking. If I go on the street to like maybe right out of high school, right? 18-year-olds that will be voting. If I ask them straight up, if I say, hey man, you're going to vote for Biden? They're going to be like, huh? Who the hell's Biden? I know because I've tried it. I didn't try, but I stop at our McDonald's, at the McDonald's by my house. It's mostly high schoolers that work there. And so I always ask them random questions. And I always say like, oh, you going to vote for? You going to vote for Biden? They're like, who? They didn't even know who Kamala was, to be quite honest with you. They knew who Bernie was. Only a couple knew who Tulsi was. But when I actually showed, which is kind of funny. So when I show pictures of Tulsi to people, they know who she is. They're like, oh, bro, yeah, man, I know who she is, dog. Yo, listen, man. I'm like, okay, keep it to yourself. All right, we good. I get it. I know. He said, man, but I mean, I'm gonna check her out though since you said something. So just had to tell y'all that was a funny story. But so Sanders is winning 18 to 29-year-olds by an impressive 41% to 11% when it comes to Biden. However, Sanders' support weakens with ages 30 through 39. They break for Sanders at 29% to 26% as compared to the 50 to 64-year-old who breaks for Biden at 42% to 19%. Among those 65 and older, Biden has a strong lead, 52% to 7%. Within Republican Party, the president remains very popular and very likely to hold the Republican nomination. Leading Republican primary candidate and former... Hold up! Y'all ain't telling me that Trump was getting primary. Are they going to allow primary? I didn't know. Hold on, this is like some breaking news I just found out. I did not know that. Did y'all know this? Is he really getting in primary? We need to find this information out right now. I'll find it out in a little bit. So the good news is for Bernie is that base that he created in 2016 is holding strong for him. And that base is going to be necessary in order for him to win in the general, right? So this isn't just important for the Democratic primary because you want to be real about it. You think that it's only 41% of 18 to 29-year-olds that are going to vote for Bernie? Unless that number is being allocated at some point to, like some of those numbers, maybe Kamala, maybe a few will be in the camp for not Warren, Booker, and a lot are in the camp for Tulsi. Even with all three of, if we put Tulsi, Kamala, and Booker combined, and this is just me being realistic, right? Bernie probably had like 85% of voters from 18 to 29. And that's just, and this, some people don't really like it. If you're a Tulsi supporter, I get it. It's frustrating at times because I've endorsed Tulsi. So, but like I said, I'm objective to a fault, and I am not naive. Bernie has a well-deserved lead amongst the youth because he put in a lot of work in that department in 2016 and carried that going forward into 2020. And I believe 100% that is a result of the work. I was there. I helped put in the work for him, so I know. I was a president of Carolina Students for Bernie Sanders. I was a president of North Carolina Colleges for Bernie Sanders. We had the largest club in the country, and it wasn't like it was hard to get the largest club in the country. We ended up with 300 active members, and 600 people signed up for the damn club with 300 remaining active. So when I say that the youth have been excited for Bernie, I don't think that that's like a controversial statement. And I don't think that this number is actually reflective of his actual support amongst the youth. It's also important to remember that the millennials are indeed the largest voting bloc, and the younger side of the millennials, right? The younger millennials are just as active now as the older baby boomers who tend to vote in every election, which is why the Republican baby boomers tend to lean conservative, and the Republicans tend to win midterms because of that. However, as we saw take place in the midterms, there is a changing of the guard that we are seeing witness, and it's because millennials are the largest voting bloc, and then the what are they? Centennials? I don't know what they call it. Generation Y, Z, X, Y, Z, B, C, D, A. I don't know what they are. But the ones who were born after 1996, 97-ish, they are basically falling in line with the millennial voting patterns. So that's great for us, right? Because like I said, at the end of the day, even though I've endorsed Tulsi, Bernie is still a fantastic candidate. Bernie would absolutely put Tulsi on his staff. And I do believe that all of a sudden local politics will be able to take a life of its own, because Bernie won't be trying to influence negative outcomes of local politics. He'll obviously be going, and I believe that Bernie would be the definition of a presiding officer. I do believe that he would be in state to state, making sure that the right leaders are being put in place. He wouldn't just be ruling from an iron throne, if you will. So I think that that's a great thing. Thanks for watching that segment of Mi Casa es Su Casa. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, on Roku TV, and on JustNForm.com. Also, you can make sure that you're subscribed to the channel by going to the subscribe button, pressing it, and hitting that notification bell to get all of our notifications. And of course, you can help us reach our goal of 500 patrons on Patreon by supporting the show by donating as little as $1. You can click on the link in the description below for that. And remember, more than anything else, find your balance. Peace.